All right, folks, let's look at some bird shot today. We've tested these federal high birds and number fives, but remember I said I'd like to see what the number sixes do because I prefer to use number sixes for crow hunting, and I thought these would make pretty good crow loads. So these are a 2 3/4 inch 12 gauge load. They have 1.25 ounces of number sixes in them, and they're moving at 1,330 feet per second. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to shoot from 20 yards of the improved cylinder and the modified choke in the Winchester 1300, and the improved cylinder and the modified choke in the Remington 870. And we'll see what kind of pattern we get, see which one we think would be best for crow hunting with. So let's get started. All right, so here we have our Winchester Model 1300 with a 28-inch barrel, and we have a factory wind choke improved cylinder in the end of the barrel today. We're up here at 20 yards. We'll be shooting a 12-inch bullseye target with these high birds and see what kind of pattern we get out of these things. See if we think they'll make a good crow load. So here we go. I know them things have a little stomp for low brass shells. All right. Now we're going to switch targets and switch this to a modified choke. All right, so now we have our modified choke in the Winchester. Let's shoot this 12-inch bullseye target here from 20 yards with this modified choke and see how these number sixes do for us. Alrighty then. That looks pretty good from here. So now we're going to get the Remington 870 out and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to shoot the improved cylinder and the modified. So let's switch targets and then we'll get to the Remington. Here we have a Remington 870 with the 28-inch barrel, and we have the factory improved cylinder rim choke in it right now. We got a 12-inch bullseye target in there at 20 yards, so we're going to shoot these number 6 high birds at. So let's shoot this and see what kind of pattern we get out of this Remington. I think I see some holes. All right, we're going to switch the target out and put a modified choke in this Remington. And then we'll shoot that and look at all the targets and see which one we like the best. All right, now we have the modified choke in the 870. We're still here at 20 yards, and we still have a 12-inch target down there. Let's shoot these high birds down there, these number sixes, and see what we get out of them. They've been performing pretty well. Here we go. And that hit a ton. And I took out a clip. All right, let's go down there and look at these targets and see what we think these high birds did and see what combination we think would be the best to go crow hunting with. All right, so here we have the targets that we shot with the federal high bird. Here's the box. You'll remember that these are a 12 gauge load. They're a 2 3/4 inch shell. They have 1.25 ounces of number sixes in them, and they're moving at 1,330 feet per second. So 1.25 ounces of number sixes equals about 281 pellets per shell. So to cut to the chase, the modified choke out of the Remington 870 did the best. It has the most pellets on target and the most even distribution of pellets in the target. We've got about 1/4 of the pellets in the 8-inch circle and about half of them in the 12-inch circle. The Remington 870 with the improved cylinder and the Winchester 1300 with the modified gave us almost identical numbers. We got about 15% of the load in the 8-inch circle and about 1/3 of the load in the 12-inch circle. The Winchester 1300 and with the improved cylinder didn't do as well. We got 10% of the pellets in the 8-inch circle and 20% in the 12-inch circle. So if I was picking, I would use the Remington 870 with the modified, and I just wouldn't let the crows get too very close. But the Remington with the improved cylinder and the Winchester with the modified did pretty well too. I don't think I would use the Winchester with the improved cylinder unless I knew I was going to keep my shots really close. So I think these Federal Hybrids, these number 6s, would be excellent crow loads. So until next time, I hope y'all stay safe in the crow woods, and God bless.